Have you ever noticed that the moment an artist becomes truly authentic, like brutally honest, unapologetically themselves, people suddenly get uncomfortable? They praise authenticity in theory, but when they actually see it, they flinch. They push back. They call it weird, extreme, too emotional, not for everyone, or self-indulgent. So, why does authenticity in art threaten people? The answer says more about society than the artist. The uncomfortable truth is, authentic art acts like a mirror, and most people don't want to see their real reflection. Think about it. When an artist expresses their real fears, insecurities, trauma, or opinions, it forces the audience to face their own. Psychologists call this self-confrontation discomfort. A 2012 study from the University of Chicago found that people actively avoid material that triggers self-reflection because it threatens their self-image. And this is why we love superficial entertainment but feel weirdly exposed when something hits raw emotional truth. It's like that feeling when a movie scene shows a character making a mistake you've made in real life and suddenly your stomach drops. Authentic art does that constantly. When Amy Winehouse sang about addiction, people judged her more than they empathized because the rawness made them feel guilty about their own self-destructive habits. When Van Gogh painted his inner world, people called him unstable, not gifted. When Frida Kahlo portrayed her physical pain and emotional suffering, critics dismissed it as too personal and too graphic. Authenticity forces people to ask, what am I hiding? What part of myself have I abandoned? What pain have I avoided? What dreams have I buried? And most people are not ready to interrogate those questions. So instead of looking inward, they look outward and attack the artist. Society loves acceptable realism. It hates inconvenient truth. Authentic art exposes three things society never once highlighted: the hypocrisy, the hidden wounds, the lies we live by. We present curated versions of our lives, but authentic art breaks the illusion. Research backs this up. A study in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology found that people dislike individuals who remind them of their own moral or emotional inconsistencies. And artists, that's what they do for a living. And then there is unpredictability. Humans prefer order, even if it's fake. Artists who try to be mainstream are predictable. You know what they're going to produce. You know what to expect. But authentic artists, they break patterns. They create from the unknown. They say things you're not supposed to say. That unpredictability makes people uncomfortable because they can't categorize, label, or domesticate you. Let's get real here. Society is built on conformity. Authenticity is built on rebellion. Authentic art threatens social norms, cultural expectations, political narratives, religious values, capitalist demand for safe and sellable creativity. When an artist refuses to conform, it shakes the stability of the system. Look at history. The Impressionists were mocked because they broke artistic convention. Jazz was attacked for being too expressive and immoral. Hip-hop was censored because it highlighted uncomfortable social truths. Modern street art is criminalized because it democratizes creativity outside capitalist control. Every time authenticity shows up, society tries to cage it. Why? Because conformity keeps people manageable. Authenticity makes people think, and thinking leads to questioning. And questioning leads to change, and change is threatening. People get threatened by authentic artists because it reminds them of something painful. They're not living authentically themselves. Most people perform their identity. They play roles: the put together professional, the nice person, the strong one, the happy one, the responsible one, the polished one. But roles become prisons. And when they meet someone who refuses to act, who actually shows the messiness, the depth, the flaws, it exposes how much of their life is scripted. It's easier to attack the mirror than admit you're disguising yourself. Here's the paradox. People admire bravery in theory, but when they see it in action, it confronts their cowardice. Let's talk money, because money always reveals the real truth. Capitalism thrives on repetition. It needs predictable, sellable, safe creativity. Authenticity is none of those things. Authentic artists don't follow formulas, don't chase trends, don't cater to market demand, don't create for mass approval. They create because they have to. That makes them unprofitable until after they die. When society finally feels safe reframing them as genius. This is why so many authentic artists struggle during their lifetimes. They're not selling a product, they're selling truth. And truth rarely sells well. Authentic art isn't threatening because it's strange or weird or emotional. It's threatening because it demands transformation. If you're an artist watching this, and I know many of you are, you feel this pressure deeply. Authenticity costs. It costs acceptance. It costs approval. It costs comfort. It costs belonging. But here's the paradox. Authenticity also gives you freedom. And that freedom is terrifying to people who have spent their lives imprisoned by others' expectations. This is why authentic artists walk alone. Not because they can't fit in, but because they refuse to shrink. So why does authenticity in art threaten people? Because authenticity is a form of truth. And truth is disruptive. It shakes illusions, it exposes wounds, it challenges comfort, it confronts fear. It disrupts conformity. It makes the invisible visible. It makes the unspoken spoken. But here's the final paradox. Authenticity is threatening at first, but healing in the long run. And that's why authentic artists matter more than ever. They're not here to entertain. They're here to awaken. They're not here to please. They're here to reveal. They're not here to fit in. They're here to enlarge the world's emotional capacity. So if you're an artist watching this, keep being who you are. Not because it's safe, not because it's easy, but because the world needs someone brave enough to show what everyone else is afraid to feel. Authenticity doesn't threaten people, it frees them. But liberation always feels like fear at first.